Hey, what's up, fellas? Dan from Masculine Evolution here. I want to talk about the fear of what other people are thinking. How much do you allow your fear of what other people think about you to hold you back in life? If you're anything like me, then you hold yourself back an awful lot because you're so afraid of what other people think. And I've held myself back so much in life, and I still do. I still catch myself holding in certain words, holding in my authentic expression, because I believe that the people I'm with are going to think a certain way about me if I speak my truth, and those thoughts that they have about me aren't positive. And so in order to maintain safety, in order to maintain connection, I restrict my authenticity. And that just disempowers me. It makes me feel kind of weak. It holds me back so much, so much. I started coaching years ago. I couldn't put anything out. I couldn't write posts. I couldn't record videos. I just couldn't do anything. And it was the majority of the fears I had were about the people that I knew. Unfortunately, that was my path. Was dealing with the fear of people close to me, the fear of what the people close to me might think. And the reason is that the person I was playing, the character of me, Dan, that I was being, had been created. I hadn't realised I was doing this. I had created this character, this version of me that I lived my life from, was created to maintain safety and connection. So I needed to be liked. At school, I just felt very unliked. As a kid, I didn't feel liked. And that was horrible. It felt so uncomfortable. My only way of dealing with that was to try and be liked. That's how I lived my life as a kid. Try and be liked. Try and get people to like you. And so I became an adult, and that's what I did. I just tried to get people to like me, but I didn't even know I was doing it. Just saying no to an invite was impossible. I didn't even know that saying no was hard. I would just say yes to any invite. Anything that anyone invited me to, I'd say yes to. And then I remember going to say no once, and it was like how I had like a mini awakening. I went to say no, and I felt all this discomfort and pain in me rise up, and I just said yes. And I was like, whoa, okay, what the fuck was that? That was my trauma. That was all the ways in which I've held my realness down in order to maintain safety and connection. Now we all have different amounts of this. We all hold ourselves back in different ways. But it is my belief that the majority of us who hold ourselves back are doing so because of what other people might think. And for some of you, it might be what strangers think of you. So you couldn't put yourself out on YouTube because of what total strangers might think. Fortunately, I don't really give a shit about that. I say that I do still care what other people think. That isn't totally true, but I'm pretty good with that. Like, I don't mind if strangers want to say bad shit about me on here. Like, it doesn't seem to affect me. But what really has held me back is the thoughts and opinions of the people close to me. Like, I've really allowed that to stop me, to hold me back. So when I would hit record on a video, I was never able to get into flow states because I was thinking about the people that might be watching it, and those were the people that were kind of close to me in my life. And I was afraid of all the negative thoughts that they would have about me and how they would think that I was talking absolute shit. And I mean, yeah, it's really, really held me back. I honestly believe this is why most of us don't go after what we want in life. This is why most of us don't have authentic, don't have much authenticity in life. I mean, I honestly believe that most people's political opinions have just come from being told that that's how you think. They're being taught that in some way. I honestly believe that, and the thought of being any different would disconnect you from so many people around you that you just keep as you are. Like, unless you've done some form of inner work, how do you really know that who you are is your authentic self? Do some inner work and really get to know the character that you're playing in life, and start asking yourself some questions like, are you happy staying where you are? Because for the majority of guys, the reason why so many guys are struggling is we're just stagnant. We're wasting our energy onto computer screens. We're not getting out. We're not meeting new people. We're not making deep connections with new people because of the fear. We don't know how to be ourselves around people. So it's easier just to hide. But it's just no great way to live your life, I believe. And if you're happy the way you are, great. Good on you. But if you're not happy with that, it makes sense to do something to be happy in life, because it's such an important thing. The best bit of advice I can give you, if you're still afraid of what other people think and you're allowing it to hold you back, you're basically carrying a lot of fear. Fear is quite a lower level of consciousness, right? Down at the bottom you've got states of guilt, shame, fear, sadness, apathy. These are the things that really hold us back in life, that make it hard to step out into the world. Up from these fearful emotions, we got like anger, we got desire and lust, we got pride. Now, if you have a lot of fear, start connecting with some anger. You might find that you find anger an uncomfortable emotion. Maybe you weren't allowed to be angry when you were a kid, so you've had it hidden. That's you pushing away your authentic anger expression to maintain connection. So that's why it doesn't feel safe to be angry, because your anger got you in trouble. Now, you're not a fucking kid anymore, you're an adult. So why don't you just start tapping into a bit of anger? If you need some help with that, get in touch. I know how to do this. I know how to help. I used to be terrified of my anger. I still have fear of it, but I can let it come up when I need to now. And it really fucking allows me to, it just shifts your energy. When you know you can be angry, you can turn it on when you need to. That will allow you to walk around with a totally different energy, and it will allow you to step towards the things you want to step towards, because you know you can handle it more. You're in touch with your anger. So if you really care what people think, if you really spend a lot of time giving a shit what other people think, like I've spent most of my life doing, a great way of getting out of that is to start getting into more anger. So just say to yourself, I don't give a fuck what people think. And if that feels uncomfortable to say, good, keep saying it. And just welcome up all the feelings that come up, all the awkwardness and embarrassment, the discomfort. Like, I do give a shit what people think, or I don't want to be an arsehole. No, I'm not saying you're going to walk around life like the character who doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks. But you're just doing this to tap into a bit more anger that's going to give you more energy to start heading towards more feelings of courage and acceptance, where you can genuinely not allow people's thoughts and opinions about you to hurt you in any way. But you're going to need to tap into a bit of anger in the process of that. So just say to yourself, you can say it out loud, you can say it into your mind, I don't give a fuck what people think. And get to know the character in you that doesn't give a fuck. Because when that version of you is merged with the version of you that cares for other people and does give a fuck and doesn't want to hurt other people, now you're a well-developed, you're a well-balanced man. You can go out into life, you can do what it is you want to do, you can say the things you want to say, but because of the anger that's been developed in you, you don't hold yourself back. You don't worry about other people being offended, because that's their shit. That's got nothing to do with you. Don't worry about offending other people. If your intentions are good and you're speaking your truth, you're going to offend people, that's fine. But if you've got the anger in you that's developed, you're not so afraid now, you're gonna know that it's okay to speak the truth. It's really powerful. Like, tapping into anger, I know has changed me on a deep level, and it's allowed me to say the things that I want to say. There's no way I could be talking like this with this kind of energy on a video, knowing I'm going to put it out into the world. I would have been terrified. I didn't have it within me to talk like this. Now it feels great to be able to have a bit more passion and a bit more, just more energy, I've held myself back so much because of my fear of what other people think. Tapping into your anger, find the version of you that doesn't give a fuck, and just start getting to know that version of you. And now when you step out into the world, you can merge the version of you that doesn't give a fuck with the version of you that has love for people. And the version of you that doesn't give a fuck is going to allow you to start doing the things you want despite other people being offended by it, because that will happen. I have people in my life that are kind of a bit offended by the things that I do. It creates a lot of discomfort in them, and I still let it hold me back. But the anger that I've allowed to develop within me is meant that I'm still doing it anyway, even though I have the thoughts, oh shit, what are they thinking? But I still do it anyway. And it's a really powerful practice. And then you can connect with the version of you that genuinely loves people, that's doing good for the world. Because that version of you that's loving and caring needs the support from the version of you that's angry. And then now they can step together, they can step forward together, merging the energy of love with the energy of I don't give a fuck what people think. Now you're a more powerful man. Now you can really start stepping towards your fears, because you got the anger. The anger's good for stepping towards fears. So much of men's self-development these days is all about being in the heart, being more loving and compassionate. Fuck that shit, man. If you're still afraid, if you still got loads of fear, fuck the love. Just go into the anger. Start getting into the more fucking aggressive version of you. Maybe do some martial arts if that helps. Go back to school in your mind with your child, with your inner child. If you got bullied at school, and let your inner child kick the fuck out of all the kids that bullied you at school. Believe me, that's a very, very powerful practice, man. That's really powerful. That's helped me out a lot. I could feel as an adult my nervous system developing as I allowed my inner child to start beating the shit out of the kids at school that bullied me, because I never could do it. I used to just let everyone say what they wanted to me, and I just didn't have it in me to do anything. I wanted to beat them up. I wanted to hit them. I used to go to school every day, I'm going to fucking hit this kid, but I never could do it. And I've recently learned that we have these different stages within our nervous system. If you look up polyvagal theory, we got fight or flight, and then there's freeze states. And when I was picked on, I used to go into these freeze states because I couldn't fight them and I couldn't run away, so I'd freeze. And when we stay in a freeze state, that's how trauma gets formed within the body. So the way out, if you go into a freeze state, you want to basically bring more stress to your body so you can come out, and that completes the trauma cycle. And the energy of being angry or fearful and running away actually gets rid of the traumatic energy from being in freeze states. But if we stay in freeze states and we don't move on from that, that creates a lot of trauma in the body. That's why when I was a kid, I wanted to fight, because I didn't know it back then, but that would have completed the cycle. So you're walking around as an adult with the trauma of not standing up for yourself as a kid. You want to do some inner child work and start getting your inner child to start doing the things, standing up for himself and doing the things he was afraid to do. And that is going to actually change your nervous system as an adult. It's wild how this shit works. There's a book I read on this process. I'll put it in the description. I can't remember right now, but it explains this process and how it works. It's truly magical, guys. So yeah, start tapping into your anger. Stop giving a fuck what people think. Find that version of you that just doesn't care. Don't let your friends and family stop you. A lot of them might try and change you because they know you as the version you've been your whole life, but it hasn't helped you out, has it? You don't feel strong in life. You don't feel your power. And if you want to start feeling more powerful, if you want to start feeling more courage in life, pick authenticity over connection. Just notice every time you hold back your authentic expression to maintain connection, because we all do it. And you might find that the version of you that you're living your life from isn't really your authentic self. It's the version of you that you've chosen to be, to maintain connection and safety. And being more authentic in life is really going to start allowing you to feel more confident. It's going to bring more presence to your body. You're going to just have more courage to go after the things you want to go after, because you're not so concerned about what other people think. I mean, I'm still on this path. I'm still going for this. I still hold myself back a lot, but I've come a long way, and developing anger is probably the most powerful thing that I've learned to do that from. So if you're interested in doing this work, get in touch. I'd love to work with some of you. Subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, and I'll see you in the next one.